Well, welcome to a Trollblood Scrum presentation in cooperation with Deff Head Dice. This is going to be our Long Rider tutorial video. We're going to go ahead and start with some basic information on the Long Riders, go over the heavy cav rules, and then explain the finer points of Bull Rush and how to use it properly. So today we're going to start with the fact that we're dealing with cavalry units here. Now, most cavalry have a couple of rules inferred upon them, being tall in the saddle, mounts, cavalry charges, and ride-by attacks. In addition, because the Tuffalos are heavy cavalry, they are also conferred the rule impact attacks, which states, while making a charge, if you become in base-to-base with a model, all models within melee reach, including the model impacted, can be attacked with the mount. So he must go into base-to-base in order for the impact to happen. Now, this can also happen to your friendly units, so if your other Tuffalo happens to be there, he would then take the resulting attack. Now, after that fact, if the model is removed, you may continue on with your movement to another model, your charge target, and make the additional attack. If you fail to kill the model, then you must stay put. This is a highly useful tool for clearing lanes to models and back that you could ideally kill with Tuffalos, and part of the reason that they can target models in the backline is because of the tall in the saddle rule, allowing them to see models that might otherwise be blocked from line of sight, so you can hit the guys in the backline. Long Riders have a unique ability among cavalry that allow them to effectively act independently from one another due to the way the wording is on their order Bull Rush. It allows them individually to run, charge, or slam all by themselves. It effectively gives every one of them their own activation. So you could declare charges, slams, or runs independently and then finish up in whatever order you choose. For instance, you could absolutely charge a model and then declare a slam against your own model. Now, because you've already made the charge attack, you can resolve it first and then slam your own model over subsequent models behind it. This sets up a lot of really interesting bowling type situations where you could theoretically charge with 2 to 3 Long Riders and then slam the remaining models over the stuff that you didn't kill immediately. As a little aside, and the last thing about Bull Rush, one thing that you can also do, rather than charging, if you don't necessarily feel like it's going to give you the most ideal slam range, is you can simply declare your Bull Rush, run 1 or 2 models into the places that you want them to get the best slams, and then slam those models, declaring the slam after the model has run. This is actually the cleanest way to use the activation. That way you don't have to worry about resolving charges first, potentially getting models killed that were, crucial in that particular activation. One of the best things about the Long Rider package is that you can also take Horthol, the Long Rider hero. Horthol confers a number of really interesting and awesome abilities to them. He gives them boosted die rolls on impact attacks, which is called Line Breaker. And he also gives them follow-up, which allows them to move after a slam, the number of inches that they slammed, and then make an additional attack after, which gives you a whole lot of extra options for movement and positioning your Long Riders after a slam. In addition to all of the wonderful buffs that Horthol provides to the Long Riders, he himself is quite a potent melee champion. He has a number of things, including all of the cavalry benefits as usual, reach just like the Long Riders, but his weapon possesses a critical effect, which is critical stagger. All models hit by critical stagger lose their initial attacks for the next turn, which is really crucial on models that have ranged and melee attacks, for instance, Colossals, battle engines, and things like that. So all of those initial attacks would then be lost. Colossals are hurt particularly bad because then their ranged attacks may not be made, and they are forced to buy melee attacks if they want to have a turn. Horthol also has the ability to slam and follow up just like the others. Lastly, in addition to being heavy cav, he is also a dragoon, which allows him to have a dismount. This lowers his armor slightly and his speed slightly because he's not on the buffalo. But his combat stats are just as potent, except for the fact he does not gain the cavalry charge bonus at this point. That should conclude our Long Riders section. Thank you for watching.